America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. I'm glad to see some smiling faces in the audience. And with that, we would have adjustments to the agenda.
Yes, we do have some adjustments. There's 7 new business staff resignations at Pauline Hopkins, night custodian, part-time, Cody High Middle School. Staff appointments, Kenneth Moore, night custodian, Comas Regional High Middle School. Mark Bruckman, night custodian, part-time, Comas Regional High Middle School. We need to discuss the adult meal price increase due to the part of the audit that we got. It also affects the policy committee. And then, right after that, we would like to recognize the golf.
Also, we will not be addressing superintendent evaluation tonight. I received 5 out of 19. So I'm not sure if there was a glitch or whether there were just 5 people who did the evaluation. So if you did not, and you would like to, please, that is one of our duties, and we need to take it very seriously.
Did you get any today?
I did not.
It could be a glitch.
So we're hoping it's a glitch, and I will get them.
Because I did submit one today.
And I think Chad.
Yeah, I did yesterday.
So we're continuing to do that. So thank you very much. Approval of the minutes for the board meeting on January 13th. I have a motion and second on the floor. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Those opposed? Okay.
So yes, we verbally recognize the golf team when they won the state championship, and then we started moving our meetings all around the district, so we would love to recognize the golf team on the state championship and coach.
Yes, thank you very much. I just wanted to pass this around. This is one of the rings that we got for our golf team this year for winning the state championship. We had a pretty incredible year. We faced some adversity last year. We were one of the favorites last year, and ran into some problems, but used it as motivation for this year's team. And this team never lost all year long, all the way through regular season, playoffs, and of course states. So just super proud of them. These jackets we received this year along with those rings. And I just wanted to recognize the people and the businesses that basically paid for these rings and for these jackets. Lakeside Concrete Cutting Incorporated, R.A. Parody and Sons, Gilman Electric, Bowman's Construction, and Josh Tardy all gave significant donations for these rings and the jackets, which we're very thankful for. So, do you guys want to just each stand up and just say your names, just so that everybody, go ahead.
S. J. Welch. Hunter Giblin.
Owen Buck. Atticus Haining. Kate Grecian. Colin Matthews.
Jay Christie.
William Hayes.
So, yeah, we were just very pleased with how the season went, and very excited for the banner that's going to go up during school vacation up on the wall. So very excited about that. So I just wanted to say thank you to all the support. We received a lot of support from the community and the school during the season, so we were very blessed for that. So
Great story, especially the person that we've got a chance to overcome what happened last year.
yes.
The integrity of the issue.
Yes, yep, and to come back and not lose a match all year long, that was quite something. We were pretty proud of that. So
We want you to know how proud we are of you. There are not many members of the Comas that can support one of those rings, and it's very, very nice. So thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Moving on to public comment. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to address the board? This is
I'm Danielle Dyer. I'm the mother of Jade Morrison. The issue that has been coming forth, that the superintendent has put I'm not really exactly sure, you guys are working on, I don't know if you can help me here, working on addressing an issue with my child using the restroom and the cheering, and the issues from last year have been brought to my attention this year, and I'm just looking to see what happens and how to move forward.
Yeah, no,
And
I
we're from
appreciate
Newport.
Daniel very much. I invited them at some point if we were going to have that conversation, but I'm glad you came tonight. We have submitted on behalf of RSU 19 our response to the allegations that we violated Title IX and those policies, and Dr. Woodsman submitted those on our behalf. We don't feel like we violated Title IX because it's co-ed sport, and in that case, they have a chance to participate. We've discussed a little bit about the bathrooms, that we don't have a policy currently on that. Whether that comes forward, I guess I would also say to you, when we have those conversations, we would invite you back to have those conversations, but right now it's in the hands of our response back to the Department of Education.
Okay, so tonight it's not going to be,
We don't have that on our agenda to discuss as a policy, but when we do, we will definitely have.
contact me, okay.
But I do appreciate that you came forward, and I felt I called you out, as I said in the meeting, unintentionally, just because it surprised us, and I apologize for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you for coming. Anyone else in the audience? If not, moving on to reading of communications. We have some.
Everybody ready for the report?
Yes. Superintendent?
Yeah, I really can't believe it's almost February break. It seems like this year is screaming along. We're right smack dab in the middle of budgets. Joe and I started to meet with principals and all the directors. And then we were also, thanks to Karina and the negotiations team, in the middle of negotiations with the bus drivers. So it's quite busy. It's a lot of winter activities going on if you look around the community. At the campus, full swing of, we had a biathlon event through JRTC. There's been skiing going on. There's been skiing at Big Squaw. We've got a lot of outdoor events around the campus. Through high school this year, they're going to do more of a winter carnival.
Yep,
Mr.
yep.
Prescott.
Warrior Winter Day, Friday.
Trying to get back out on the ice rink and all the facilities we have outside skating. And wrapping up winter sports, but then all of a sudden the middle school starts volleyball and wrestling, which are kind of club activities that are building, as we'll discuss in the COVID extracurricular. And I should say, Ray.
Yes. Ray has ended up in the hospital and had a triple bypass. Is doing well, he's home. I guess he's not handling being quiet very well.
He's not the type of person who's going to lie on his back for 8 to 10 days in recovery. But, you know, Ray was a fighter, but he's doing well.
So Ray, if you happen to be watching this, we wish you good well. And stay calm. Yeah. Okay. Reports. Anything from the superintendent to add?
Yeah, it's a student.
Yes, okay. Student?
Talking about that Winter Carnival, we had a pretty exciting opportunity brought up. We're going to do, it's called ski dring, so it's behind a horse. We're going to have a track groomed out behind the trail. We're going to have a representative from each grade out there. I'm the senior representative. It'll be pretty cool. We have, I think we had 18 different options for kind of indoor activities over that Winter Warrior Day. And then I'd like to say about the same number for outdoor activities. And I'm really hoping that student involvement is kind of through the roof there, because I know that if it's not, we have people it won't happen again. But I know the teachers are definitely putting a lot of time and effort into this, and they want to make it, good for our student body. So I'm hoping we can do more of these.
Are you actually gonna have horses?
Yeah, we're gonna have a couple people bring in some horses, and
You've never seen it before.
it's awesome. It really is cool. But yeah, I'm gonna be behind the horse.
So the superintendent gets to do it first?
Hey,
Calling him as-
you are more than welcome to. We're doing it at 10:30 on Friday.
Oh my God.
Faculty representative.
Yeah, I dig that.
Colonel Clark is gonna be the faculty representative.
Can you give Matt a heads up so we can get that on?
Oh, we're having the PA system
my
on.
God.
Mr. Hunt is gonna be,
10:30.
he's gonna be announcing on it.
Bring your boots.
Yeah. It's gonna be something. I'll see if we can get it recorded.
Oh my heavens, hopefully you bounce.
The horse is fast.
Yeah, he said probably close to 35 to 40 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh.
We're talking with Maddie Irvin and her kind of like connections with the horses and whatnot. She works at a stable, so
Cool.
doing that. But yeah,
Anything else?
that is kind of it for me. Basketball, boys got to the playoffs. They had a great game against MCI to kind of rally the heel points we needed to get to the playoffs. That was a really cool game. I was in the student section there. That was pretty fun. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it.
Any questions for anybody?
Yeah, Prescott Island tomorrow.
Moving along to reports of special committee.
Budget met on the 20th, reviewed monthly financials, right on track where we should be, and we voted on the budget calendar. If we could, Joe, could we email that out to everybody where that all landed? So our next budget meeting is Tuesday during vacation. That's been canceled, but we will be starting the budget process the Monday after vacation. Those meetings are at 5 p.m. at the SUP's office. Can't tell you again how important those meetings are. That's when we itemize each building's budget. That's where we go line by line. That's where we really learn where the money's going. So please, I encourage anybody with interest. That will be happening pretty much starting the week after vacation all the way through May. 5 p.m. for those workshop meetings on the 23rd. And that's all I have for that.
Any questions for Bud? Moving on to building.
The building committee met on January 14th. The booster started off with a booster update for the field lighting initiative. Musco will break down the project for a per pole cost so that we can seek donations and put little plaques on the poles as we deal with that. They are opening up a Venmo account, and they have gotten approved as a 503c organization. I assume that's a 501c3. And they're going to make some bumper stickers and window flings, and one of the things that they want to do is circulate a QR code that people can click on to donate small amounts. And then they plan on seeking larger grants. They're looking at Alphon, King grants, USFL and NFL foundations, and local small businesses, maybe donate in kind for some of the work that needs to be done. Once the money is pretty much there, the target is to order the poles. It's 12 weeks to set up the light system and have it delivered. Musco apparently is ready to go at that point when we're ready to have it put in. So we also started the process for snow removal for the coming years. So our bids were due on February 5th. I assume we'll be reviewing them tomorrow. And one of the things that we came up with, of course, one of our current snowplow purchases, the proprietor of that is now a transportation director, and I guess we're business in the position where remaining independent and performance was good, so. And then the EDS boiler plant, Alicia reviewed the closeout. Siemens was taking care of a small issue under that contract, which was kind of a funny little thing. Apparently there's a fuse in the secretary's office that when the power goes out, kicks out, and somehow that prevented the boiler from coming back on when the generator kicked on. So they're rewiring that so that doesn't happen. We did note that there was some engineering issues that mostly, for here, Mike, with the layout of the room itself, that required us to move some of the services into an adjacent room. So that's creating a different problem. And then one of the things that she noted with the current school was some of the lighting in it, particularly in some of the classrooms, I gather, the lights are, part of the light is going out and not coming back on. And so she's recommending that there's a set of replacements that we will have to start doing. But she figures that's a room-by-room process. So she'll put that into the budget. Yes.
For the outdoor lighting fund, is there any amount yet started?
Yeah, there is some that they've collected, but the target is 350, I think now.
Right. How far along?
Yeah, there's a good chunk of money saved that is earmarked just for the lights, and it's put away for that. So our biggest goal is to get grants. Unfortunately, the All Fund is not opening up until mid-year again. So we're looking at the King Grant and some other ones, especially like USA Football that support rec level football. One of the issues that we're going to come up against that we've noticed so far for grants is that we are an entity that is not, the land does not belong to us, and we're trying to get this put on something that we don't own. So we need to just, that's what one of the things that we're looking into.
Any other questions for Bill? Hearing none, on to education.
So our meeting was an update for the middle school and the process of, they've been identified as tier 3 a couple years ago, and how that was going. The first couple years was like figuring out what to do with that title and what that meant, and then what they were going to do to try to improve. So some of the things that they've done, they've had the NWA data specialists come meet with them. They've been working with great school partnerships for coaching. They have done instructional practice grade level wise to start talking about some of the gaps that are happening between elementary school and going to middle school. They've worked with Count Me In to look at attendance and get more get students into the building. They have worked with math, some professional development with math. We talked a little bit about middle school uses Open Up and the elementary school uses the Envision for math curriculum. The bright spots right now are that the attendance is improving, and there has been a reduction of suspensions, like that. Spending time and developing relationships with kids and wanting them here does seemed to matter. We were concerned with the NUIA scores and the proficiency in the NUIA scores, and we still have some questions on that. The data that's on here was ones that we had asked for, and looking at it, I still have some questions for Lori, so I'm not going to speak completely to the data, but the numbers we were given was on the back, that the 7th and 8th grade were at the 25 and 26% meets, and the 53 and 38% for literacy. And so we wanted to know how that looked compared to elementary school, and so they put the tables on here so that we at least had that. It is an ongoing conversation. They are still working on it. They're still doing lots of work. They know that they have not met their target yet. They know that there's still more to do. And I have more questions now that I've seen these tables, but we'll have to do that at another meeting, which part of it will be with Mark. He brought up that we bring this data is linked to the ESSA dashboard and some of our other like attendance data. So he would like to know how to read that. So we're going to have a meeting on that part and how to interpret that with all of our schools, and address class selection and grading at the high school, and then also a conversation around technology. So those are going to be on the future agenda items, and I think we can talk more about this data because looking at it, I have more questions now.
I was going to say, you want to push mine down the road a little bit to get this back on the agenda? I am A-okay with that.
Yeah.
And there's been some discussion about why scoring in 2025 has decreased so drastically.
Well, that's the question that I have now, because we didn't have the 2024 data, and now looking at it, yes. And I don't know, like, where it says third grade, was that the third grade, their test in 2024 and in 2025, or was that the second grade? Like, the third grade took it, and then the incoming second. So I have a couple questions. So we have the data now, but I can't talk to what that table is.
Any next meeting?
Whatever it is next month. When is it? Sorry.
March 3rd.
Yes.
Very good. Policy.
Policy committee met. We worked on 2 policies. The first, I guess, changes to the wellness policy, which were a result of audit from the state and their recommendations from the food services director. And I guess I would have to leave it to Mike to explain some more of it. But I guess I would make a motion that we accept for first read.
Second.
Motion and second on the floor.
Just a note about something that probably should be changed. On number 3, it says all food beverages served and sold will meet the following criteria. Then all the criteria are crossed out. Seems like maybe you want to just cross that out and just say, and will follow the federal smart snack guidelines.
On 7, page 3.
Yeah, page 3, so that's exactly what that, that's part of why this is out of date. Yeah, I think it's yeah, so when we had the evaluation of the food service over at, it happened to be a review at Somerset, they looked through all our policies and things that related to food service. And they came up with our wellness policy that was kind of out to date. And as Chris picked up on the first one is that now you follow the federal smart snack guidelines. Back in the day, you had actual number of calories and this and that, and so that is outdated. That's why this had to be removed. And then the nutritional standards are now under a link on that second page of page 4. And then you start to see some of these things that were pulled out in terms of, I'll give you an example on like page 7, the classroom targeting, and a few of the other things that were pulled out of certain wellness areas, because we had to have 11 on page 8, which says goals for school activities. So what I had to do was I had everyone pull out all those pieces that were in our original policy and put them under one category. So that's why you have those things like schools that encourage cooperative agencies, reorganize support programs, students with nutrition development. We have that in one of our other pieces of our policy. We had to pull it all together to go on with the goals of the school base. And that was one of the monitoring things that we had to do. So this isn't a whole rework necessarily of this policy because it's been on the board for a while. Remember, Steve, we mostly had a wellness team that worked extensively on this policy. It's just now reflected on the actual law that we don't have to follow. It's in those guidelines. The thing that's come out of this kind of conversation, and I just had it with the administrative team, what about those kind of policies? Well, I felt by the wayside a little bit, but there are still fragments of those teams in the buildings, and they're kind of focused more on even some of the personal health of the teachers and those types of things. So I think those would be, on some levels, resurrected that the building kind of has, like I said, the skeletons of those. It's kind of something that popped back up and something that we need to focus on. And potentially have a District 1, but really focus on the energy of whatever's going on in those buildings that they feel like they want to work on. And so this is kind of just bringing that into the guidance of our review through food service.
All those in favor of the wellness policy for first read? Those opposed?
And for second read, staff code of conduct with students. There had been some concerns raised quite a few meetings ago, but we never really got any actionable input. So I think we were more or less ready to just recommend this for second read. With the exception, I made the suggestion we clarify one of the sentences, removing, I'd have to go for it, removing the parentheses, basically. That would be, on page 2, item J. And have it just say, unless the student's parents approve of the activity. So I would make a motion that we accept for second read staff conduct with students.
Second. And a motion and a second on the floor. Any discussion on the motion?
So is that when we want those indents without parentheses?
All those in favor? Those opposed? Moving on to transportation. Negotiation.
We met with the bus drivers. We're currently in talks. We meet again tomorrow night. Hoping to wrap it up in the next couple of weeks.
Yay. Very good. Tri-county.
So we had our meeting on January 22nd. The criminal justice did training with the FBI active shooters in schools. I didn't get to hear firsthand because my son was not there, but they said overall it went very well. I think it was a huge learning experience for some of those kiddos and teachers and staff that were involved. The local police department was there. So that was kind of neat. They did a review on the comprehensive school. They had some recommendations that came back regarding some storage issues, some stronger advisory committees, and using a common evaluation tool. So they're working on that. I think that's going to go well for them. The EMT that was helping the class over there, get those kids certified, and no longer do that. So they are working on some support elsewhere. They are going to pay tuition, I believe it's tuition for students to get their certification through Eastern Community College for this year. Not ongoing, but for this year for sure. Main Auto donated $16,000 for outreach services, so field trips, dealership visits, all things, with automotives, the internships. They had a car donated, so I think they're up to like 3 or 4 cars over there now to work on. Darlene's donated one, and then student family donated another vehicle too. So currently building trades and automotives is like a pre-apprenticeship program. Automotives not quite there, I think they're working on that one, but they're trying to get their own to do that, so I think that will go well. Recruiting for our 8th graders kickoff. So 8th graders that go up to the programs, get them ready, thinking about it at least. Bridge Academy, we talked about that. There's a meeting in the fall of this year for next regional high school meeting right now. We still haven't said that if there's opportunity for other schools to go invite, but right now it's just for Dexter. For the Bridge Academy, and I think they're only going to set like 20 kids. Next year we are adding electrical to the program over there, and electrical education program. Those are all true exams. We talked about enrollment. They're going to work on applications. They're all online through the tech center now, and they're going to, the students are going to have to do like job interviews basically with the instructors, and they're going to have to do job shadowers. There's going to be a few kiddos that get up there and realize that's not what they wanted. So they're going to try that out. They're going to start the process with automotive, welding, building trades, machining, so some of the higher demand programs are there. And then we talked about the LD for P36, which I do have, this I'll pass around. Basically that the tech center was trying to get their programs to have credit, where students need them. So I'll pass this around, you guys can take a look at it. And then our next meeting is March 19th, 6 o'clock. Oh, and I hope you have the calendar ready this summer.
Any questions for the donation?
Yeah, Melissa, have there been any word on plumbing, talk of plumbing at all, in the future, nothing?
I haven't heard anything. Electrical seems to be the big one right now.
Yeah.
Welding is going without a hitch, and that is huge, massive. I know automotive is always low, truck driving is always low. There's some really high demand.
Yeah, from what I heard.
Yeah, nothing on plumbing yet.
I don't think there's any.
I know that the HVAC program started this year.
Yeah.
Up there, so maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Thank you.
Yep.
Moving on to extracurricular.
Yes, we've got this committee together and kind of reviewed fall sports at the middle school and winter. Pretty strong numbers, 150-ish at the middle school. Wide variety of activities from cross country to golf, golf, cheering, soccer, sides. And then moving into basketball, there's some conversation about basketball and how that all plays together with the number of athletes that we have that want to participate, and then the ability to find, the fine line between kids who can still play in rec versus a C team, because it's just so hard to find teams to play against once we go A, B, and conversation on that. We did discuss stipends, which is always an up and down thing. I think they're pretty in good shape right now. The ones that we put in place at the high school for winter track and the second coach for wrestling has allowed us to, because we have dual leagues, so that the girls can go with sometimes great coverage, which is excellent. And then we now have, we're confident that we have good coverage when we have winter track meets, with a large number of athletes that we have. One of the focuses that we talked about is girls wrestling, trying to get it started as a sport at the middle school where girls are wrestling with girls. We just think that might be a better look at anyone who is involved in the program. At the high school level, we participate in at least 4 or 5 activities where girls get a chance to go wrestle against other girls. And there aren't enough teams just yet in the NBA to have a whole league of women's wrestling. But any chance that we get to, we try to go and do that. And I do feel that that will build the program and move us forward. Sometimes right now, girls get stuck wrestling up and down the weight class on the boys' team, and they kind of, for lack of a better word, they fill a spot. They may not want to go wrestle and get beat, knowing that they're going to get beat just to wrestle somebody in that weight class. So that's going to be a work in progress. Again, we'd like to be building up our numbers in some of our sports on the female side. But that's not just a Tacoma's issue, it's a statewide. We are building our cheering program. Our girls at the middle school won both the Bronx Star region and then some regional yesterday, won down in the Vesta. So that program is building. That program stays together. So we put a lot of resources into our athletics that really provide us a really rich experience. We're starting to see a lot of our kids do a lot of nice things. We had somebody win this KBC shot put, so hopefully that person will go on and do states next weekend. Like I said, our boys basketball team, budget committee, is going to travel to Prescott Island tomorrow to play out the game. So, any questions about that or any areas you'd like us to explore? Lacrosse is kind of a club sport at this level. I've joined the middle school to try to build it. We do take responsibility for both boys and girls on the high school side. Right now, MCI provides a little bit of equipment to players, but mainly that's on us now.
Two things, how are these sports going?
They probably season will crank it up, and they seem to win state championships whenever they get in the league. So
That's good.
Any other questions?
Mr. Prescott, anything I can about athletics?
No, I think you covered it. I know we have some wrestlers that are qualified for states coming up, I think, over vacation as well. Yeah.
Girl participation in wrestling in our schools.
So the biggest programs that we try to work with right now is Belfast has a really strong girls team, and Double has a really strong team. We have a few girls. So if we can start to build the grassroots from those programs, we certainly will. And we'll take every advantage to try and get girls to events that are out. Because there is a meet where there's still the college wrestling team, and there's also the girls state team. So we try to put everybody in those competitions as much as possible. We'd like to see that grow with those teams.
Have you reached out to the rec level Pee Wee program to see what their numbers are for co-ed?
Yeah, so we talked, Gene was at that meeting, and so today or yesterday, our middle school started.
Yep.
So I think we can build it down to that, and even if we do some showcases and
Right.
events.
I'm looking more like what the Prebbles do for the Pee Wee League and the numbers, because my kiddo joined, and it's a healthy 50-50 mix of boys and girls that are down there right now. So catching them at that point and wanting to grow the love of the sport is gonna get your numbers up in middle, obviously.
And I think that was,
Yeah.
we kind of alluded to that.
Yeah, perfect.
We will definitely do that. We'd like to see it grow. I think that if you knew you had that venue where you were going to always be able to compete against like athletes, we'd really like to see that grow. We believe it has to start with those.
Moving on, no old business. And new business staff resignation.
Yeah, Daniel Heiners, special ed technical teacher, middle school, again, science teacher from July, so this is the one that's Ann Sullivan, social worker at Scottsburg Elementary School, only Hopkins, like still part-time at Regional High. No staff nominations, but appointments, Madeline Knightsbury, special ed tech 3, Regional Middle School, and also at EDS. Timothy Jensen, special ed tech 1, Regional Middle School, Regional High. Jason Griffin, special ed tech 1, Regional Middle School. Thomas Marsha, night custodian at Thomas Regional High Middle School. Kenneth Mower, night custodian at Regional High Middle School. And Michael Bartlett, night custodian part-time at Middle High School.
None of those require action. And the superintendent evaluation is in the fund.
Usually it happens at like the school or to the
Can that be pushed out to the public so those of us that have had them and have our kids, like especially with someone like Bill, like if there's a party or something or celebration, I would love to attend.
Sure.
You could let us know.
Just to speak to that fact, I've been the district used to throw big major celebrations for the group of people retiring, and it's lovely thought. Public's not really in on the jokes shared at those things. So if it's something the staff's doing, you might want to look for a private party where that might be more of a relief sort of thing.
Very good. Any future agenda items?
Are we going to bring our Title IX to policy committee or not spend a lot of conversation on
I believe there was a small discussion and we are waiting for,
Well, we can certainly bring up that conversation at the policy committee. Presently, we don't. We haven't seen what because you've got two laws. How that got into the conversation. When I tried to put it out in the news, when I was talking to, it said it should be each board all in the state, and that being which decision they want to make, for the circumstances, it really should be the legislature. Give us the law, make the decision, and then we'll all abide by it. But if we want to start that conversation, that's all.
we will take that under July 10th. And
it's a tough whole situation, so I don't know if it's long, we talk about it, so we can understand what the circumstances on it. And I think it would help put a couple of these to know this is something that's continually being reviewed, and that means that us, because not talking about it looks like avoidance, and I think we need to avoid that part. You know, as far as transparency goes, not bringing it up is not solving the issue.
our next meeting,
Did you say that we were going to talk about adult meal cases?
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Sorry, we do. We can talk about all those places. So part of that review that we went through, they analyze our price per plate, you know, and adult meals have been drastically under what we should be doing for units. So presently it's 4.25, so.
That's what Lori said, yeah.
uh,
The
Lori said 425. 425. And it should actually be 5. So we need a motion so we can send it back to the back room so that we have adjusted our adult living prices to be more in compliance with what the state says our price should be. Right, Joe?
Yeah, I think as part of that program, you can't charge less than cost for the meals.
So
So
yeah.
moved.
We can have a motion to go increase the cost to $14.5.
Do we have a second? Second. Motion and second on the floor, all those in favor?
Almost like Korean.
Yep, I did.
Motion.
I did.
Those opposed? It passes.
James, vote?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Two votes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my heavens. Okay, and the next board meeting is going to be March 10th. We are adjourned. Very much.
So you have like
Better than listening.